Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's an all-you-can-geek Gamecast. I'm one of host Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod, or nothing.
I don't know how that got muted, but I muted
There
my
he
mic by
goes.
accident.
Corey
Oh, hi,
Feinsod,
everyone.
the muted,
Mm.
and Tony Kokonakis.
Yo!
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers. We're live right now on Twitch. Join us Tuesday nights. We just did the movie cast. If you can't join us Tuesday nights, we have all of our content over on YouTube. We usually launch an episode Wednesdays and Thursdays, so stay tuned for those things. The Gamecast, movie cast. This is the Gamecast. So, guys, what have we been up to? Corey, kick us off.
Well, I was playing a little game with some buddies called Supervive I mentioned last week. And it's a pretty fun game. It's a battle royale. But it's top-down isometric view. You're leveling up your characters, but you're kind of like these hero champion type characters that each have different abilities. The problem is the game, I think it's a lot of fun, but the game is not very popular, and so there aren't that many players, and we were just destroying people. We had like win after win after win.
True Arts called you out. You jumped in on it late. Does it still have people? Sick
No,
bird,
not unfortunately. I think it's dying, which is really sad because it's fun and it's got some cool characters. Just like this, the player pools, we kind of kept seeing the same people every game, and we were winning each game. So it's not like it was difficult. But this is unranked. Maybe ranked is better. I don't know, but I thought it was pretty cool and fun, and just like a quick thing you can do as a fast like just hang out with some friends and not really do too much thinking type of thing. But then was an even smaller that came out called Monster Hunter Wilds. So
Just a small game.
yeah,
Nothing popular about that game whatsoever.
No.
So I love how I was funny because I bought a game. I'll talk about it in a second. And then my wife was like, she's like, what are they texting about? Like, you guys are messaging, both of you, Tony and you. And I'm like, oh, this Monster Hunter game. She's like, is that what you bought? I'm like, no. But go on.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Tony's got some stuff to say about it as well, but this is my first real delve into the Monster Hunter world. Not worlds, but obviously wilds here. And it is I got thoughts. I don't know. It's hard to articulate them because I heard this is the most accessible Monster Hunter, which it is. I heard it was supposed to be, kind of difficult, but this has not been difficult at all. This is very easy, and I don't feel like there's a challenge whatsoever. The beginning is a lot of talking. There's a lot of story stuff that I did not expect. I thought I was going to be going in. I played like 3 hours of this game and have like 3 fights. I'm like, this is not what I thought this was going to be at all. And in the multiplayer, I haven't tried it all yet because I keep hearing that it's real bad. So that's where we're at right now. I am having fun with it and kind of exploring the different weapons. Like the
What
weapons
weapon are you
are.
using?
I'm using the bow right now.
The bow's really good in this one.
Bow is fun. Like the bow is a lot of fun, and I started out mouse and keyboard, but it was a little bit difficult to kind of get my get used to it, I guess. And I moved to controller, and controller's been good. The Elite controller is great because it's got the paddles and everything. So that's been real fun, and just the combinations you can do with the bow, and the different there's different ammo types. There's
It's so
very
in-depth,
intimidating.
Yes. Yeah.
There's menus upon menus upon radial menus upon radial menus. It's like, all right, I'm gonna click left bumper, then I gotta use my D-pad to get to the right menu, and then I gotta use my right stick to get to the right equipment or right item or whatever it is. And so it does feel very intimidating, and like there's a lot you need to know. But then at the end of the day, it's very easy, and there's not much to the fight so far. Like I said, I've only been a few hours in, and so I can't say if it gets harder or not. And as far as the story goes, I don't care at all. I just want to fight monsters. So let me fight monsters.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Tony?
So I'll follow up. I probably got 7 hours in or so. It is interesting because compared to the Monster Hunters I've played, which is like Ultimate 4 on Wii U, Worlds, and Rise. None of which I ever beat, just played for probably 10-ish hours each and bounced off. Story was never a big focus in any of these games. It literally was just like, hey, something happened and you have to fight a big bad monster to resolve the issue or whatever. It's like, cool. Well, you can't obviously just go up to that monster and kill it. You need to kill a lower monster so you can salvage it for parts, get a bigger weapon, bigger armor, and take on the next big, and you work your way up. So I agree that the focus on the story totally caught me off guard. I was like, what? Why are there characters? You're talking to me? There's a cutscene? Why are there so many cutscenes in this game? I was just like,
Yeah.
Okay. It does get better after that first couple hours where like they really try to immerse you in the world, which I get, right? And we'll see how good or bad that is. I've heard conflicted things. The difficulty is also something that series fans have criticized, that they're saying this is very easy compared to other Monster Hunters, which I don't know how I feel about that, right? Because kind of like From Software games, I'll just use Soulsborne games as an example. Like the first Soulsborne game you play is going to be really fucking hard, right? And usually each one will get a little bit easier, especially if you're playing them progressively. If you started Dark Souls or Demon Souls and worked your way through, like, you should not have problems with Elden Ring by that point. Going the other way, probably a different story. But so when people are like, oh, I've been fans of the series for like 20 years and this one's so easy, I'm like, well, you kind of know how things are going at this point, right? Like,
Yeah.
You know, that's like me saying like, oh man, Mario Kart 10 is so fucking easy. Like, you know, it's weird, right? But the overall premise of Monster Hunter is the first playthrough of like beginning to what people consider like the final monster. That is easy, but once you beat the game, you unlock the next rank of difficulty, and all of a sudden all the monsters are again like harder. They get bigger health pools, they get like new movesets or more aggressive AI patterns and stuff like that. So to beat the game, quote unquote, if that's all you're trying to do, like you're beating the named monster that you saw at the beginning, it's like, yeah, you're not going to have a problem. The game is designed that they don't want to cock block you, right? That's modern game design, where they want to encourage people to at least finish the game and see the credits. It's the mastery where you're like, you want to achieve that master rank? Yes, that is going to be hard. So take that with a grain of salt there. But other than that,
I think I was just expecting it to be much harder based off what people have said in the past.
oh, no. I mean, monsters...
I know it's not a Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's not like an Elden Ring situation, but it is like a mechanical complexity, I would say, right, which a lot of the quality of life improvements have helped with. So, like, for example, okay, in this game, you have a sacred, which is essentially a chocobo as your mount, right? And in this game, you hop on your mount, and there is something that just says, like, auto guidance or something like that.
Dude, I could not figure out how to turn it off. I'm
the UI does tell you. The UI does tell you.
I was like, at first, I was like, I spent a good 5 minutes. Like, I just want to pick up this item, and I can't because it keeps trying to go to the objective. Yeah. Like, stop. Like, I want to go where I want to go.
So what happens is you hop on this mount. I'll just call it a choke. I'm going to refer to it as a chocobo for the rest of the podcast. Mm-hmm. Just, you know, it's not chocobo, but it is. You know,
sacred.
Yeah, sacred. So you hop on this, and it will automatically take you to the quest monster. And it is unlike any other Monster Hunter game beforehand, because part of the loop of the gameplay was, hey, there's reports of a bear monster or a tiger monster or a dragon, whatever, in this vicinity. Go hunt it down. Again, Monster Hunter. Go hunt it down. Find it, hunt it, kill it, right? And so you have to explore the environment, pick up on, like, cues, because you could see, like, corpses of other weaker monsters in the area and be like, oh, shit, it's probably nearby and stuff like that. So you have to find it and then encounter it. This game, they're like, you know what? We're just going to have the chocobo take you right there. And so that is a little jarring, because it's like, well, I mean, you could turn it off. You could turn it off, right? The game's not forcing you to, but it's like, I'll just take it. It's easier. Right. It is on by default. So it's like, it's kind of nice. And the thing is, it's really good at, like, actually just autopathing you. Like, I'll just set it and just kind of watch it. It's like, if you remember in Final Fantasy 15, the car, where it's like, oh, I just want to go to this city. And you're just like, I'll set the controller and, like, stretch out a little bit, like, you know, whatever, and stuff like that. So I could see that kind of criticism where it's like, oh, is that better for the series? Like, you're streamlining it, but is that good or bad, right? And that's really dependent on how you feel about something like that.
Yeah.
Churro Arts chiming in. Oh, you're right. So far as made the story do that more. It has also made joining for multiplayer painless. Yes. Multiplayer is a total pain in the fucking ass. Like, I cannot think of a worse multiplayer system in a game, in a modern video game in the last 10 years.
That's not good.
Like,
that's how they messed
Well,
that
I was
up.
like considering, like, oh, I'm gonna ask Tony what, like, if he's around to play, and then I was like, this multiplayer seems so convoluted. I don't know. I'll just whatever. Just
so
play a little more on
there's
my own.
lobbies, but then there's private lobbies and there's environment lobbies. But just for example, I was trying to play with a friend where it's like, hey, let's pair up because we're starting the game together, and you'd think like, oh, it's not like, I'll just use Halo for example. It's not like Halo co-op where it's like, hey, we're progressing and we see each other at all times. It's kind of like I have my own instance of like the first 3 quests, and then she has it for the first 3 quests, and it's like, okay, now we're actually on the mission to kill the monster. Now it's like, okay, go into the menu, invite to quest, accept it. Now she has to like teleport into my instance, and now we're playing together. But it's like,
Gotta watch the cutscenes.
no, yeah, thankfully you could skip that, but it's so much friction. It's not as seamless as I would like it to be. I don't know if there's. I would imagine there's a better way to do it, but Capcom has been doing this for 20 years now, so I don't know if for better or worse. But overall, the game is really fun. The weapons that have existed have gotten huge upgrades. I'm a longsword weeb dude, so I have the power of anime and God on my side. Doing flashy like samurai type moves and everything like that, which is awesome. And yeah, and you just feel so fucking cool doing it. Like when you master your weapon and like an encounter with a fight, like you just feel so good. Like the feedback is very good. The one thing I will say that the worst part is performance. Like I have a really good rig. I have a 3070, which is like above average at this point. But like I had to tone down a lot of my settings to get the frame rate and everything smooth to like a 60 FPS thing. And I'm just like, yo, this game does not look that good. It's not like a Cyberpunk situation where you're like, okay, well, I can understand that you need a high system requirement in order to unlock the visual fidelity of the game and everything like that. So probably I think part of that's the RE engine was not made for open world games like this. It was made for Resident Evil games, obviously. And I think part of it, at least on PC, is the de novo anti-piracy takes up a lot of the system resources. But even the console versions aren't really that much better, so take with it as you will. But overall, the game is really fun, and we'll get to it in the news in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about some numbers shortly. Mike, come on back into the conversation here. What have you been playing? I'm going to guess was it Like a Dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Same here.
So yeah, I've played 20 something hours already.
That's way more than me. I played 5. But go on.
But there's a lot to this game. Pretty much every side activity aside from the big ones that was in Infinite Wealth is in this game as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So you basically you have your your sicko snap, you have your they have the kart racer back. I think that might have not been in the last game actually.
I don't think it was in the sequel. It wasn't in the sequel. From what maybe I never found it. I don't think it was in the sequel though. Go on.
Yeah, you have pool, you have batting cages, you have
a lot of arcade games. Yeah.
Yes. A few new ones too. I haven't.
Yeah.
I think there's. Yeah. So there's a lot to do if you choose to do it as that. Plus, there's this whole pirate thing going on. There's treasures and bounties and enemy factions. That's like the other stuff. The main story is just 5 chapters and nothing extraordinary is going on so far.
The gripe I have is Majima. Like, the character's not as, it's not as interesting. It's not as good of a character as my previous experience in Like a Dragon games. Like, it's not. You know what I mean? He's not. That's my issue with the game.
You don't know?
My only issue. What's up?
You don't know who he is.
No, I know.
You haven't played the whole game.
No, I know that, but I mean, like, you know the character from the other games, he was in those games. You know what he was coming from, essentially. Goro Majima, wasn't he? He was, huh?
You only know him from the new games. He's hardly in those.
Yeah, he's in them enough. I know him a little bit. So
Thinking,
I just don't find him as interesting so far. But
well, I mean, well, for one, it's an amnesia story, so
yes, yeah.
it's like a weird version of him. But anyone who's played Yakuza 0 is pretty excited to be him again here. So he's fun, he feels different because he's more curt and a little more violent and a little bit more gray than the other protagonists of the
Oh yeah,
series.
absolutely.
But
yeah.
we'll see where it goes. I expect there to be no interesting story stuff happening until the end, which is fine because I think it's a nice refresher. When the last story was like largely a cancer storyline, this one is way lighter.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
So
this is a very light story
right.
so far. I mean, I don't know if it's going to change, but I mean, it's not like it's very light. I'm sorry, that's wrong. But it's a lighter story, definitely. But I don't know. I actually, maybe it's just me as an RPG fan. I prefer those other games more gameplay wise. I feel like there's great combos in this game. Don't get me wrong. There's cool like that. At least they have the level up system where you can get that information. Get that stuff. You can buy abilities. But I feel like the combat gets kind of a little bit repetitive because you find your combos you like and you just stick to it. You know what I mean? So it gets pretty repetitive, if not as repetitive as a turn-based RPG. So it's like I don't know. I just feel like I'm a fan of the old style, of the other style. Sorry, not old style, but the other style. Sorry.
Well, I disagree because I think you get new abilities as things level up. And
Okay.
I disagree with your opinion, Jim.
Yeah. No, I know he's going to disagree with me.
No,
I just,
this is fine.
he's also a hands-on like
No,
fighting
I
game
get
kind
it.
of person, and I'm an RPG guy, so I get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's just as repetitive though. Like I feel like it is because it's you're getting into a group of people, you have to mash buttons to get around those, and then you usually take on one major strong guy in that group, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's like a very similar idea, but
I mean,
it's button masher until that. What's it?
both styles get repetitive after a while. I mean, you have your
Sure. Oh, and listen, a
but
turn-based RPG absolutely gets repetitive. I'm never going to defend that entire. Like you can't. I get it, but I don't know. I just prefer that a little more because you can change it up with some like not your summons, but magic and different abilities and stuff. I feel like more abilities, but
well,
I
again,
don't know.
you get stuff like that as the game goes on. There's
Yeah.
some interesting items that unlock interesting abilities later in the game. But yeah, it's definitely a little meatier than I expected, but it doesn't need to be. If you wanted to mainline it, although it might get a little hard, I guess. I'm a little over leveled, I think, but if you want to mainline it, you could probably get through it pretty quickly, quicker than my total playtime now. But I am
What do
probably
you think?
just
Like
like
15?
I think you could probably get
15
through
hours?
it if
Yeah.
you tried. I'm at like 25 or something though, and I'm on like the third chapter, which is the middle
I'm,
chapter in the game. 5.
okay. I'm expecting like a 20-hour game, and if I get drawn into the pirate stuff, I could see it being longer, definitely. So. Yeah.
Yeah, the
But
pirate
cool.
stuff, it's definitely unique. I don't know if I love it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
super in depth. Basically, although there is a lot of it drives you to want to recruit more pirates and get a lot of money to level stuff up, because then everything gets easier. You can kind of be like completely outclassed by higher level enemies in that mode. So that's one thing to keep in mind of. But it's fun. So a couple new interesting places. Madlantis is a pretty cool place to explore. But otherwise, it's about what I expected. It's not. It's a solid like 8
So
so
you're ready
far.
for Kingdom Come, is what you're saying.
It is sort of on the horizon of my vision while playing this game, unfortunately. But I am enjoying it enough. I'm a fan of the series, and I hope I get some sort of payoff in the end that's relevant to the ongoing series. I know it's like I said, I like it that it's lighter, but I do want something a little more
Some
relevant
tie-in.
to everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they tied it in to my games, not your games, but my games. So Nelly Island and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, it's the same
That's
place, but
yeah, it's tied in. It really is. So, all right. Gaming news. We as we talked about, Monster Hunter is going bananas in terms of gameplay wise. So it's selling great. 8 million units sold since its release on February 28th. That's amazing. I know the concurrent players on Steam were crazy, set records right for it.
Yeah, I think it was like 6th of all time or something like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, my bold prediction was not very bold at all. It's like,
No.
oh damn.
No,
thought that was
yeah.
going
I mean, you know what? It's funny is about like I think this day and age with games coming out, I feel like hype is a real thing in these games because the price wise. So price point is matters to people, but if you get enough hype behind a game, people are going to buy it, and I think that's what this game came in with. It had tons of hype. Known Monster Hunter games are super popular, and Corey, you're an example of. I'm using you as an example. Never played the series. You're in on this one. So that's my point. Like I feel like we've got 2 podcasters now in this where only one was in it before. So you've doubled your amount. And I feel like I'm just saying, I'm just using us as an example.
It's funny.
And I wouldn't argue like it has been on my, periphery. It's not going to probably happen, but it's been on my periphery. And after hearing your gripes, it's not like game of the year. Maybe it is. What do you guys think? Like contender? It's too early to tell.
I mean, review wise, it's low 90s, I thought.
Second highest rated
great.
game this year.
Yeah.
But you guys have some gripes with it, so it's
highest.
not.
Well, I mean, my gripes are mostly with performance, and that'll be addressed just like most AAA games. But the multiplayer thing, I mean, I'm sure once you learn it and everybody learns it, it's way less. Because a lot of it was like, wait, what do I do? Or do this, try this, and it was just like that. I mean, the core loop. And if you play single player, you like that doesn't even impact you at all.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You do see other people too. Like it was confusing for me at first. It's like, oh, start the lobby, and I was like, wait, I'm not trying to get in the lobby. I just want to play the solo game, but it just sticks you in an instance with other people. So, but yeah, I think they did a good job of marketing this game and getting certain clips out that really incentivized like fans of the game, and then having very good character designs that helped bring in non-fans to the game as well.
Like I said, they hyped it. It's marketing. It really is. So
it's marketing, but also day one PC release. Day one.
Yeah, and that helps. Yeah, we talked
First
about
time.
PC and
worldwide
first time.
Worldwide release too. Yeah. So I mean, they look at the sales. Can't argue it. More and more games are gonna be like this, especially coming from Microsoft. Take that, Mike. As I just mentioned, that Indiana Jones coming to PS5 in April. It's happening.
That's a rumor. That's a rumor.
It's happening. I don't care. I'm going out there. Like, listen, I've seen multiple people talk about this. It's a rumor, yes, but it's happening. So it's like I've seen multiple people talk about this, expecting on a PS5 like last month. So I would assume April is easily doable here.
No, it's coming. It was announced that.
Sure. Gears of War will be on there. I'm excited to have those games launch because, like I said, on the of the years, I mentioned how great Indiana Jones was, and this feels like Tomb Raider all over again to me. Like it's like this time, however, it's coming out on another system, so you can try it. Like you can play it. Like the original Tomb Raider game, or the second one, right? Was exclusive. One of them was exclusive. Yeah, like they were really good, and it was hidden to like so many half the fan base, and it's just like Indiana Jones is a game that needs to be played by a lot of people. And I'm really happy to see this game come out on the PS5 because, again, we just talked about with Monster Hunter, with the hype, with everything going behind it. People have talked about this of the years a lot. I think this is going to sell really well on PS5, and so I'm excited for it. Yeah,
people aren't even going to care. Like, oh, Xbox, they don't even know. They don't even care.
They won't. Honestly, I mean, it's a good move. If you want to make money,
that's the only way they're going to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't have a system. They're trying to kill it.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. We're going to do a little bit of an anime talk on this one, even though it's the Gamecast. So, Suikoden. People know our love of the Suikoden games on this podcast.
I'm so excited. This game is coming out very soon. Literally. We're days away.
Yeah.
And
I
was like, I got Monster Hunter to play now. So
Yeah,
I
that's
played
why
it
I'm happy
already,
I took.
so that's the thing. I've already played it, so
Me too. I mean, I've played it. I've played it multiple. This is one of those like
these are the two best
I
ones.
love video games, but there are very, very, very few that I've played more than once. Like even if I love the game, I like Mass Effect 2. I've only played like the ending area multiple times, different ways to finish it. You know what I mean? Like like that was it. Um, I've replayed both of these games multiple times. So it is a staple. Like that. That is how much I love the
Mhm.
Suikoden series. So an anime adaptation's coming, which is awesome.
They had a whole
Um,
little event for
yeah,
Suikoden, which was pretty
Like a little
cool. I was
direct
like, oh
event.
damn, this
yeah.
is neat. But they got an anime, they
I'm
got a mobile game.
Yep. I'm psyched. Like finally, we get maybe a great sequel. Finally, a great sequel. Probably. I hope.
I
Please
mean, there's
give us
been,
something
I
like
mean,
that.
that's they haven't been, they weren't terrible, the other ones, but they never
Not
hit the
clearly the
highs as
same.
two.
Yeah. Yeah. Not this clearly the same. Hopefully they find that magic from those first two games
Yeah.
and in the sequels they come out with here.
I'd be
Oh,
curious
well,
to see
hopefully
what the
this will be
anime is
drive through.
about.
Yeah. So
We'll
like
see.
like Konami, it is Konami, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the right studio, right?
Originally, yeah.
Yeah. Like they don't make games. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna get a Metal Gear game finally, a remake, and I think a lot of this has to deal with the fact that they're like, maybe they're dipping their toes a little bit back into the field, and that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, yeah,
So.
I mean, and I didn't put this on the news. I should have. But Konami and Bloober signed a deal for another new game, which could be anything, but I'm expecting either a remake of Silent Hill 1 or just into a new Silent Hill game altogether. And I think this is what Konami is going for, right? Because we've seen it with a lot of other publishers. I think Capcom, and Square Enix, where it's like, or Nintendo, where it's like, hey, you know what? Let's release a remake or a compilation first, test the waters, see how rabid the fans are, and if there's a market for it. And then once those were successful, it's like, okay, cool. Like, for example, with Mercury Steam, they went from doing, hey, Nintendo's like, remake Metroid 2 on the fucking Game Boy. And we're going to release this on the 3DS. And they did a really good job. It sold pretty well for a 3DS game that launched post Nintendo Switch. And then Nintendo's like, hey, cool. Do the new Metroid now. Do a brand new 2D Metroid. We got Metroid Dread, which was Game of the Year candidate, that year. I think it was around a 90 Metacritic. So I think Konami's taking a play out of this, both with Silent Hill, now with Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, and probably with Suikoden. So
because they were done. They were done with
They were
games.
done. They were absolutely done. They were just like, nope, fuck this shit. We got pachinko.
Yeah, pachinko machines. That's it. And hey, I can't argue with it.
Yeah,
Makes
it was
some tons of money.
profitable.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see that the drive. It was still there though. Clearly, if they're thinking about it, somebody there is still like, we got to make games. So I'm happy to see that. And I hope
it's so nice to see that they're coming back. Some of the classics
They have
that we liked.
They have so many great IPs. So many great
They
IPs.
do. They do. And I said it about Ace Attorney with Capcom, and I'm saying it with Castlevania and Konami. It's like, hey, you have ported almost the entire catalog of games now. You have no excuse. Give us a fucking new Castlevania game. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this.
Yeah.
Fucking give us a new game.
All right. What else we have in the news? Monster we talked about. Oh, Terminator. Let's talk about Terminator because this Terminator 2 game, Terminator 2D, No Fate, was announced for PS5 and PS4. Coming, is it this year?
It's on all
it
the
is
systems.
this year?
It's on all the systems.
Yeah, it's this summer, right? Is it this summer?
Yep.
Yeah,
This year.
this summer. Man, I am super excited for this game, and it is a Terminator game, and I'm saying that, and that's saying something because I literally just watched. It's funny because I just watched the Angry Video Game Nerd about the Terminator games and how bad those games have been. So the timing that you posted that trailer was just like unbelievable, and I'm like, this looks fucking amazing. I'm super excited for it. It looks great. It looks absolutely great.
Fans of the 2D pixel art style brawlers, shooters are feasting right now. I mean, we got Power Rangers coming. We got this coming. We had the Turtles game before.
Yeah, I mean, for those who haven't seen the trailer, I would say Contra Double Dragon, or would you say something different? Like that's the vibe. Contra definitely.
Contra Double Dragon. Yeah, it's probably.
Yeah, Double Dragon with a fighting part, punching part of it, but a lot of Contra.
They had that Mummy remake thing
Yeah, yeah.
recently.
Yeah. Yeah.
This reminded me of that also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Good
That was
point.
also
That's
another
good.
great game. That's
Yeah.
licensed IP. It's just like
Yep.
this is no right to be as good as it is, but it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, interesting, Mike. On your angle of things, Mike, is this anywhere on your radar? Like this looks like it's like a classic style game. So I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe if it's well reviewed. I'm not too attached to the Terminator
Oh,
IP
not that
myself.
Terminator, but like what about the older games like Double Dragon and such, Contra, anything like that?
Oh, well, not Contra. I find that a little annoying, but I do like Double Dragon. I've played those a bunch.
Yeah. I figure with a beat 'em up
Yeah, I
style
like,
of this, it might be on your radar. But yeah,
yeah, I like those.
yeah.
The
So
one
I
thing
don't know.
that
I
wasn't
mean,
in the
I'm excited for it.
trailer that I'm worried about was like, is this 2-player or not? Because
Yeah.
like it seems like
Yeah.
it'd be right up the alley because you have the Terminator and you have Sarah Connor, who's another character that they show.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Look,
it multiplayer? Like I don't know.
I didn't see anything about
I
that,
didn't see
but
anything about it.
it should be because you got like you said, you have Arnold's character and you have Sarah Connor,
Yeah.
so
You could.
they should be both playable. But
It would be weird because while I mention all those games, those Double Dragons, the Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, Streets of Rage, even they're all kind of lame to play by yourself. You need, you know,
they get
you need it
repetitive.
to be a multi.
Yeah, they get
No,
repetitive.
I mean I definitely think those
without
things
the
are
campaign.
enhanced by multiplayer, but I mean I still like playing those single player.
I don't know if I have.
Yeah.
I don't
think
know.
that,
Contra, I don't think I ever played single player, so I don't think every time I play Contra, I was playing with somebody else. But I don't know. All right, we'll see when this comes out in the summer. So that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Gamecast, though, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Once again, we're live on Twitch Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. If you miss these live broadcasts, YouTube has all the content over there, so make sure you subscribe. That way you get notified when we post, because we do post on different days. We post the Gamecast, Moviecast, and you get notified when we do that. And you also, if you subscribe on Twitch, you get notified when we go live. So how about that? Leave us a comment as well. We'd love to hear from you guys. We'll see you next week. We are out.